Evening all. Well, we're back playing Dragon Warriors once again, and our intrepid heroes are about to enter the mountains of Brack, which lie to the far north of Albion, in their quest to retrieve the Ember of Glissom and the king who was taken from there. Travelling with his nephew, Prince Doron, who was uncharacteristically quiet last game, mostly because I didn't want him to interfere with all the puzzle solving and so on. But yeah, we're about ready to move on. Something I meant to bring up to the group beforehand was that Google has now made Google Meet free to everyone. So we might try that out next session, see if it works. Give us a different layout. It would let us have everyone's sub-screen on screen in a better way. But we'll see how it goes. Right. You had just delved into the underworld beneath the lost city of... Well, not lost city, the ruined city of Mimir after talking to the villagers. And you uncovered yet more evidence that the steward, Kilndead, who is presumptive king now due to his manipulations, is guilty. And you're kind of left with a choice whether to press on north in pursuit of the Ember or whether to turn back south. The elder of the village, whose feet were being burned when you first encountered him, tells you that if you want to journey onward to the lost city of Nem in the north, he'll show you the only way through the mountains, though he warns you that no man has ever returned back from the way he is about to show you. But he wants to give you a gift to help you on your way, which is 30 metres of elven rope. They occasionally trade with the elves of the forest, and they keep these kind of gifts back, but they hope it will help you. It's light as a feather and strong as steel. So you could carry on north, or you could turn around and head south to confront Kilndead. You do have the evidence here.
Well, we have this note, don't we?
Mm.
But that's still a bit circumstantial, isn't it? I think it's not concrete, is it?
Doron leans over the wooden table where you've been sort of eating and having this discussion.
The wee bastard. He controls the court. If we go back without the Ember, without the king, it won't matter what evidence we have.
No, as I remember, you've been banished and exiled.
Aye, unless I return with the Ember and with the king.
Yes, so we've got to press onwards, haven't we? There's not a lot of choice.
Aye.
I've just had a thought, and it's a bit out of the ordinary. I'm gonna just hear me out. Why don't we all make copies of that? So if we do go back, we've at least got a copy each, because if we do show this document, who says that the Chamberlain is going to destroy it? So at least we've got a fail-safe, basically. So if he destroys the master copy, we've got backups to prove that.
Aye, we could take copies, and we could tear up the original and take a piece each.
No, we keep the original, but we give him a copy. Because if this gets too high up magistrate's head on it, we're going to have to get enough proof to prove in your favour. So basically, if we rip up the master, so be it. But it's not looked upon nicely, if you know what I mean. But if we make copies, we can at least have something to fall back on. You know?
Will they no suspect the real one if we give them copies?
That's the thing about making copies, darling. You know, we keep the original, we give a copy, but if he destroys that, we've at least got the original to give to the boys.
Aye, well, couldn't hurt.
Let's try something.
Why would you want to give him it in the first place?
It's a good idea, says Aura, but given our MO, I don't think that courtroom drama is really our style, is it? Really?
No, my judge, jury, and executioner is my blades.
Yeah. Yep. I think it'll be a very short and bloody coup when we return.
Right, so we have
Aye.
to overwhelm him with the fact we got the Ember and the King and the evidence all in one.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's
Right.
get the Ember Fire and then go back and have a drink.
Aye, we have an accord. Okay, so yeah, you can rest up and heal up in the village, and then it's time to head on. The old man's feet still look injured, but he's fairly light on his toes despite that. And he leads you off through the light mists that clothe the Siren Forest in the early hours of the morning. After about 2 miles of travel following the old fella, you stop at the bottom of a high cliff face. Above it soar the mountain peaks of Brack. You have to strain your necks backward to see their summits. The old man gestures to you to stop. He turns and addresses you. Long ago, this was the way that the bronze chests came when they sought the lost city. None of them ever returned, and we know not what happened to them. We call the cavern entrance the mouth of the gods. In front of you, you can see the dark slash of a cave mouth in the face of the cliff. From it, you hear ghostly whispers of the wind as it blows across it. Makes your spine shiver and your hair stand on end. The old man shudders at the noise. Many men have perished here, and a host of ghosts and spirits haunt the cave. Those few of us who've entered this place and returned have been struck stark mad, with hair turned white. I must leave you now. It's bad luck to linger in this place, but I wish you all the good luck that fate has to offer. He bids you farewell and turns back into the mist.
Well, we should keep pressing onwards. I'm not afraid of no ghosts.
Do you want me to tank Serlane, or do you want to tank this time?
I can take the lead if you want me to.
It's just I'm used to going out front. Just asking.
You do seem to get injured a lot, though.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
At least I take the so-called I damage, and you guys can prepare. It's common sense, but if you want to take the lead, I'm not stopping you.
All right, I'll walk in front.
Okay.
Do you want to go next, Becca, or do you want me to go next?
I don't mind really. I've got some brand new shiny armor to test out. So
You've got a new shiny axe to try out as well. Yeah.
let's proof this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you can go next, my dear. I'll stick to the back. I'll guard the rear.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. So you wander into the cave through the crack in the cliff face. It starts out looking quite tall. It's almost like a spike of crack running up the stone wall of the mountain. As you come inside, the roof flattens out and grows lower, but not too low. It's reminds you of the high ceilings of churches and so on, and your footsteps echo strangely. That windy, mournful sound is still going in here, but it no longer sounds like it's coming from the wind blowing across the mouth of the cave. It sounds like it's coming from throughout the caves, from everywhere. It's rapidly getting dark in here. So do you want to light a lantern or press on without?
It's probably best to light a lantern. But who has a free hand? I'm gonna look back at probably
I can hold it if you like.
Cisora.
Yes, my lord. You called. You summoned.
Do you care to hold the lantern?
I don't see why not. I'm not going anywhere for the next adventure. Yeah, why not? Yep. Okay.
Okay, right. So yeah, you strike a spark, light the lantern, turn up the wick, and it reveals the area of the cave before you. There is a pile of skeletons scattered around on the floor, broken up to various degrees, old, pitted and damaged bronze weapons lying here, there, and everywhere, and fragments of armour. At the far end of the cave, there is a vast monolithic carving of a figure cut into the rock face, with the symbol of an eclipsed moon carved onto its forehead, just beneath a colossal crown of stone. Its eyes are sunken and seem to produce the deepest shadows imaginable. The shadow's face is lean and melancholy. It's carved in a sitting position with its two arms stretched out into the room. In one it holds a disc, carved into the shape of a stylized sun. In the other is a similarly stylized representation of an eclipsed moon. The hand holding the sun symbol is raised about 45 degrees from the horizontal, the other 45 degrees down. Other than the skeletons and that, there's not a great deal more to see, and it seems to kind of guard or cut off any way onwards. Looking at the statue, you can see that some ancient iron pitons have been hammered into it at various points, and fragments of ancient, dried up and mouldering rope hang from one piton to the next.
Well, looks like we're climbing then.
How do you suspect these people died?
Probably.
I know that, but
That's what I was going to say. Judging by the scene of the crime, Jim, does it look like they gave up a fight? Does it look like they fought amongst themselves? Or
a lot of them look like they fell while they were climbing this enormous statue. So maybe something attacked them while they were climbing. Others look like they've been in battle, but there's no obvious sign of wounds on the ancient bones.
So, do these look like bronze chests?
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of bronze and coppery looking armour, very few iron weapons, mostly bronze.
I'll look up and do we actually see the top of this room? Is that our thought?
There's you raise your lantern and look up. There's a chasm above you from like a second floor of tunnels, almost.
Mm.
So maybe they fell down from up there. That's kind of what it looks like. Like some fell while they were climbing the statue, others were fighting, but you can't really see any signs of injuries on the bones. And others may have fallen from above or been shoved down the pit. And the fall did them in.
I think it might be time to try out that rope.
Is that a hill you want me to climb up? Oh,
Yeah, looks like I have to. You can test these old rusty pitons. Make sure that don't break. We can get it to the top of the circular rope. We can climb up. No problem.
Yeah. So Cesora wants to climb then?
yeah. He who dares wins.
Right. What's your reflexes?
It is 16. 1-6.
Okay. Right. Yeah, you easily climb up to the first piton, secure the rope, and start to move on to the next. As you do, the two of you below, you hear rattling and moaning, and the skeletons start to draw together in smaller piles, sort of rattling and shifting across the ground. There's a grinding sound, and the shadow around the statue seems to grow thicker, so almost like it's sucking in the light from the lantern.
Right. Do you still have that relic at Sir Elaine?
What relic?
Oh no, Brother Abbas has got the relic. Never mind.
Just gonna draw my sword and keep watching the bones.
Okay. So, combat turns. One second.
Yeah, I'm going to draw my sword as well and get ready.
Okay.
Whether you were drawing your backpacks, christen it.
You keep climbing.
Yes, my lady.
Don't stop to load your crossbow or anything. Just keep climbing.
Yes, my lady.
Right. Okay, so Cesora carries on climbing and reaches the second piton, squirming his way up. So you're about waist high on this thing. The shadows are thickening around you, and you can see that a sort of a compartment has opened in its chest, and that's where the shadow's coming from. And you're just below that. But you spent your turn climbing and making sure you were secure, so that's your go. Elaine, you're prepared. The skeletons are starting to form together and rise up on their feet.
Ah! Slash! Smash!
So
Kill.
strike at one before it can fully get up. Okay, take 5 away from your attack and roll.
I hit.
Okay.
Deal
And how much?
10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. Yeah, everything's going to get past their armor. Okay. Right, you strike down with your sword just as one sort of gets up on its feet and shatter it back into pieces. A slight glow that had enveloped the body dissipates as you do so. Right. Up on the statue, the shadows form themselves into a vaguely humanoid, fast-flitting figure, and it reaches for Cesora with shadowy talons. What's Cesora's defense halved because you're climbing a statue?
5.
5. Yeah, you swing away as best you can while keeping hold of the piton, and its shadowy hand passes through you, sucking the life force from your body and chilling you to the bone. Takes 6 wounds.
Why is it always Zora?
He takes more risks than everybody else. Right, Becca's go.
I take risks. They're just very specific risks.
Okay, right. So there's that many skeletons are there? Are there a lot? Several?
You haven't really got time to take a head count,
Yeah,
but you
a
know,
lot. Right. So,
a couple of dozen skeletons, maybe.
right. So I'll so Becca will start spinning the claymore above her head in a big figure of eight, and just move in to uh, uh, like a farmer scything wheat.
Okay. Take 5 away from your attack and roll.
17. Oh, let me check. I think that's a hit. Yes, just.
Because you're awesome at this point. Okay, roll damage.
Is it straight through?
Yeah, straight through armor.
6 damage.
Okay. Yeah, a couple of them jump back, you lop the hand off one of them, and then land a solid blow on another one, slowing your blade but cleaving through it and shattering it into pieces.
Nice.
Okay, so that's 2 smashed, and the other's closing in. Right, they pile into you from all directions. So, you're each being attacked by 6 skeletons. How do you want to divide up your defense?
Let's find out. This is 15. I guess 5 on 3, and then the other 3 can
So we get 3 hits.
Yeah.
Okay. And how's Becca defending herself?
I'll do. I've got 15 defense.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll do 3 on 5 and let the 6th one through.
Okay. Right, so...
Oh, wait. I have, I calculated my defense diff wrong.
Okay.
18. So, 5 on 3, and then 3 on 1, and then the 2 can go through. That's cool.
Okay. Right. So... You are struck but once. Make an armor... make a save for your shield. Roll d6, needing a 1.
5.
Okay. What's your armor rating?
My armor rating is 6.
Horrendous. Okay, one of them manages to get a blow in past your whirling defense, but their sword just clangs off your plate mail. It'll buff out, it'll be fine. Right, Becca. Right, Becca is struck twice. And what's her armor rating?
6.
6. Okay, neither blow gets through your ancient chainmail. The ancient bronze weapons just sort of clang on it. One of them breaks off its tip, but they do you no harm. So despite you being surrounded by clawing, stabbing skeletons, you're both holding them off quite well so far. New turn. Caesura, you are hanging from a piton while a shadow demon attacks you. What do you want to do?
Chuck a flashbang in the hole.
Okay. Yep, you grab one from your belt pouch and toss it into the hole.
And I'll shout at the top of my lungs, fire in the hole.
Okay, so there's a loud bang and a blinding flash of light, and the shadow demon seems to just dissipate in the power of the light. At least for now. Yeah. Right, Elaine.
I'm going to strike one of the skeletons.
Okay, so you whirl around on one of them and make a blow. Okay, take 5 away from your attack and roll.
I hit with an 8.
And roll damage.
7 points of damage.
Okay, so yeah, they're piling on you from all quarters. You sort of take a moment and a breath under your shield as they sort of scrabble and smash themselves against it to try and get past it. And then you emerge with a roar and lop one of their skulls off the top of his spine. And it collapses underfoot and is rapidly trampled into pieces by the other skeletons. Right, and Becca?
Becca will continue whirling and swirling the great sword in the huge deadly arcs.
Okay. Go for it. Take 5 away from your attack and roll.
19. I think that is a miss. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so you lift your sword up high and like 3 or 4 of them leap up and hold onto your arm, trying to sort of weigh it down. And enough of them get hold of you and the sword to pin it so you can't get a proper swing. But you do manage to shake them off it. Right. They continue to attack you. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so still 6 on each of you. You splitting your defense the same ways? Yep.
Yes. 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, 0.
Okay, you're struck twice, so Elaine, so 2 shield saves, please, needing a 1.
A 3 and a 4.
So nope.
No.
And your armor rating?
6.
6. Ping. Clang. Yeah, you're not getting your shield in the way quite well enough, but your modern armor is more than a match for their ancient bronze weapons. All right, Becca, meanwhile. Is struck once. Armor rating 6, wasn't it?
6, yeah.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, cleaves past your armor, finding a gap in the armpit or something, and its bronze battle axe strikes you a terrible wound for 12 health of damage.
Oh, God.
So the ancient blade smashes up into the armpit of your armor as you're raising your sword and sort of shatters into fragments which pierce into your chest, and you start to bleed down the side. It may have dislocated your shoulder or fractured your upper arm as well.
Should have cut my arm off. but the mail stopped that.
Yeah, and you've got plenty of health points, haven't you? Well, not anymore, but you've got more than 12, is what I'm saying, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a terrible, terrible blow. Right, new turn. Cesora. The battle below doesn't seem to be going so well.
I guess that. What's happened to that creature which was attacking me?
It seems to have gone.
How far from the top am I?
You've got 2 more pittons to reach the top.
Fuck it, slide down on the rope
Yep.
and charge from behind.
Okay, you can buckle your swash.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you can do all that in one go. You slide down the rope
Yep.
and sort of propel yourself into the skeletons.
Yep, both swords out, twins of destruction.
Okay, so are you doing a double attack or a single attack?
Single attack, parry with the other.
Okay, so that adds to your defense. Cool. Right, roll to hit. Take 5 away from your attack.
1,
Okay, and damage?
7.
Ah, right. So yeah, you come sliding down the statue, down the rope, getting a bit of rope burn. Fly off once you reach the end. Propel yourself forward into the skeletons and smash the one that was attacking Becca into pieces with a downward stroke of your short sword. And so you're now in a little group of 3. Right, Elaine.
Seeing Becca sort of like get an axe embedded into her underarm, sort of like lunge towards her and strike the one that attacked her.
Cesora just smashed that one to pieces.
Oh dear. Okay,
But
well,
there's plenty of others.
Attack another one.
Okay.
And I hit.
Right. And damage?
Wow. 11 damage.
Alright, yeah. You roar angrily and cleave upwards and just shatter one of them into 2 halves, right from pelvis to the top of the skull. It's smashed utterly to pieces. Becca's go.
Okay, well, I shall gasp and try and destroy this one that nearly killed me.
Cesora already smashed that one, but there are plenty of others.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Everyone wanted revenge on that skeleton.
I'll continue whirling my dervish.
Okay, go for it. Make an attack roll.
6, that's a hit.
And damage?
10.
Alright, yeah. You roar and swing the sword, blood spraying out from under your armpit, and you shatter another one into pieces by hurling it against the cave wall. Right, so there's 3 of you now. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4 decide to attack Elaine, 4 decide to attack Becca, and 3 on Cesora. So how do you want to divide up your defense now?
Me 5, 5, 5, 3.
Okay, and Becca?
I think I'll go 4, 4, 4, 3.
And Cesora? Got 3 on you.
2 with 3 and 1 with 4.
So 2 with 3, 1 with 4. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, yeah. And they pile onto you, trying to clamber over your armor, claw at you, stab at you, any way they can get at you. Elaine. Okay, make 2 shield saves.
No on both.
Okay, and your armor is
6.
6, isn't it? So Okay, that just pings straight off your armor. It's incapable of penetrating it. And that one just ricochets off. So another axe, which did for Becca, just pangs off one of your pauldrons. And a club just smacks into your chest and rebounds off. Bronze weapons are no match for steel. Alright, Becca then. Okay. Most of them miss Becca. Becca's armor is 6 as well. Ping. And that scored a crit. Let's see, struck across the forehead with a cudgel.
Oh no.
Did you say cuddle? Did you say cuddle or cudgel?
Cudgel.
All right, okay. My bad.
Not a cuddle.
Becca doesn't have that much more health.
Becca takes 6 health of damage from the blow of the club.
That reduced to 0, doesn't it?
Now she just looks angry. She just looks angry now. No sign of passing out. Very, very angry.
Yeah, because you've got that special ability, don't you? True grit. Yeah. Yeah, but if you get to -3, then you're dead. But yeah, that would have felled just about anyone else. You think that mighty blow she took to the noggin, but clearly Becca's skull is made of sterner stuff. Right, so there's just the attacks against Caesura still to do. Right, one blade manages to get through your whirling sort of dagger defense, take 2 wounds to Caesura from a cut across the forearm.
Okay.
Okay. Right, you turn. Caesura.
I'm attacking the one who's always doing the most. I'm attacking the one who attacked Becca with a cudgel.
Okay, yeah, you can pick him out easily enough.
Yep.
Right, and you maneuver through the crowd of clambering skeletons and strike at it. Take 5 away from your attack and roll.
2.
Okay, and damage.
6.
Okay, yeah, you drive your short sword down through the top of its skull, easy enough. Ancient mouldering skeletons, and the rest just collapses. Right, Elaine.
Keep fighting.
Yeah, you're whittling them down. Maybe maybe 10 left. Okay, so make your attack roll.
Yes, I hit.
And roll damage.
9.
Smash another one, tread it underfoot, and move on to the next. Right. So, Becca's go.
Right, I'm going to try a special manoeuvre that isn't often taught, but I've seen it done.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to switch your grip to one-handed, forearm grip, which is purely defensive,
Mm-hmm.
and going to try to quaff my healing potion in the middle of a fight.
Okay. Yeah. So
Difficult to do.
you drop back to a defensive stance and gulp down the potion. So you regain 7 health points.
Phew.
Right. And the skeletons continue to press the attack. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them left, so that's conveniently 3 each. So how do you want to divvy up your defense?
6 on each.
6 on each. And Becca's defense?
It's only 12, isn't it? I can't use the sword head.
You're still wielding the sword, so yeah, you can.
Okay, so 5 each then.
Okay. And Caesura's defense?
2 with 3, 1 with 4.
Right. Okay, Elaine, make one shield save.
Yes, success.
Yay! I think that's the first time that's happened.
Yes, that is the first time.
Right, so one of these bronze battle axes comes hurtling down. You lift your shield, deflect the blow to one side, and leave the skeleton open to a counter-attack. Alright, Becca is struck once with a sword, but the blow is turned aside by your chainmail. Alright, Caesura. What's Caesura's armor rating?
2.
2. How much health you got left?
I hate you, Jim. 8.
Okay, well you're alright for the moment. A club with a spiked bronze head smashes into the small of your back, and one of the points pierces your armor for 2 wounds. It's kind of death of 1,000. Yeah, so it's death of 1,000 cuts with you. Right, new turn, Caesura.
I'm going to attack the one who's just clubbed me.
Okay, so you thought, oof, you bastard. Turn around and give him a
Attack
slap.
with one sword, parry with the other.
Okay, roll your attack at -5.
3,
And damage.
7.
Okay, yeah, you just shatter it into fragments with your sword. With a sort of 1, 2, 3 swipe until it falls apart at your feet. Elaine.
Horizontal slash the one I rebounded with my shield.
Okay, right. Take 4.
God,
You got a crit? I was going to say
Yeah,
take
got a
4
crit.
away from your attack and roll, but you got a crit anyway, so it's all good. Damage?
16.
Okay, it's just annihilated, blown into fragments with the righteous blow of your sword. Right, and Becca's turn.
Okay, well, I'll carry on now. Whirling and slashing, I try to
Yeah,
not die horribly.
yeah. Your wounds are closing up from the effect of the potion, and you stopped bleeding quite so much. So yeah, take 5 away from your attack and roll.
11 has a hit.
And damage.
7.
Okay, yeah, you whirl from one skeleton to another, several duck out the way, but then you land a good solid blow that tosses one into the air, breaking apart as it falls out of the cave. Alright, how many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Yeah, so 2 on each of you. How do you wish to divvy up your defense? Starting with Elaine.
I put 9 for each.
9. Becca, how much defense on each?
I've got 7 and 8.
7 and 8. And Caesura?
5 in each.
5 on each. Okay. Okay. With this number of them, Elaine, you feel like you can hold them off all day. So, yeah, you're parrying, knocking away with your shield, moving. Good footwork, staying out of range of any real blows.
Unless one of them rolls a 1. I mean, unless one of them gets a lucky shot.
Yes. Right. One of them manages to land a blow with an ancient two-handed sword across Becca's back, but it shatters into fragments against the magical chainmail. And neither of them managed to land a blow on Caesura. So, new turn. Caesura.
Oh! Attack needs 1 to me.
Okay.
I got a 3 on my dice.
You got what, sorry?
A 3.
Okay.
Number 3.
And damage?
7.
Okay. Yeah, you smash another one to fragments and tread over its bones. Yeah, they're much more thinned out now. You can see light at the end of the tunnel. Elaine?
No, it's up yonder.
I again press. Keep attacking.
Okay.
I hit.
See. Press on. Damage?
10.
Okay. Yeah. So you're able to ward them off easily enough, and it's easier to find openings. Just move forward, manoeuvring them in front of you, and smash another one to fragments. Becca's turn.
Right, so I would try the cinematic whirling double kill, but it's not going to happen just yet.
If you get a crit, I'll let you kill two.
Oh, I got 4.
Oh well. Damage?
Yeah, let next name up.
11 hits.
Okay. Yeah. You annihilate this one. Whirling around. You chop its head off its spine, then smash it through the middle, then smash it through the tops of the legs. Leaving only 3, which is 1 attack on each of you. So what's your normal defense? Elaine?
Me is 18.
And Becca's full defense?
15.
15. And Caesora's full defense?
10. But plus 2 if I'm doing Mind Dodge.
Yeah, the double blade technique. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so they all need a 1 to hit you. Okay, yeah, they don't. And it's going to be so easy. You just you finish them off with style and finesse because they can't really touch you at this point. So you just smash the last 3 of these ancient legionaries into dust and can finally stop for breath.
Out of breath.
I should have to take a knee and push my lung back inside my ribcage.
Are you two okay?
Ish. I'm halfway to about 3/4 of the way to the top, and you guys get into a rumble, so I had to go all the way back down to save your bacon. But if I'm going to die, at least I'm going to die on friends. Ugh. Right. I'll make sure I've got a flashbang at hand this time, Grim, and I'm going to start back up again, but this time taking it cautiously.
Have you?
What? What's up? What's up,
Are
Sully?
you sure you should do that?
What? Flashbang or climb up?
Climb up.
Right. Do you see any other way out of here?
No, but you got quite badly hurt last time. You seem to be still wounded.
I am still wounded, but the thing is I at least want to get up this bloody statue and then rest a bit and then wait for you guys to catch up.
Why don't I climb this time?
And that sort of armor? Okay, if you insist, Cerulean, you're the boss.
Okay, what's Ceralian's reflexes?
16.
Okay, it's a bit hard going once you run out of the rope, but you do manage to struggle up the other pitons in your armor and everything, and reach the top. So where does that bring you out?
Oh yeah. For some reason I thought of this, but I didn't say. Fine, I didn't say anything. I was going to take this. Ask if I could have the flashbang off of Caesora.
Yeah, I will give you one, no problem.
Okay, we'll hand out a few.
Yeah.
Just remember that you've got a couple at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. At the top of the statue, you come out into a chamber, a cave in the rock. It has several tunnels leading off from it, and the surfaces all seem to have been worked to some extent, straightened, opened up, flattened out. There's some rough-hewn steps to the west. There's a cavern opening to the north, another cavern opening to the east, along with a small alcove. and another cavern opening to the south. The floor is riven with a chasm that leads down to where all the skeletons were.
Doesn't look like whatever attacked you is here anymore. You can climb up. Just call down to them.
You either go next, Becca, or do you want me to go next?
I'll go next year.
Okay.
Okay, yep.
Do you want flashbang as well, Becca?
That's okay now. No, I'll just use my body to get in the way.
Just use your noggin. Just use your noggin. If you can't use your sword or your battle axe, just use your noggin.
Yeah.
I'll give you back. I'll give you back your flashbang now that that thing isn't there anymore.
Keep it near, Celine. It'd be useful.
I was wearing the helm of Typhon. Was that got a nice dent in it?
If you were wearing that, then you can't say anything because it always comes out as gibberish. So.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
But you can carry that with you, and it won't get dented because it's magical. Okay. Now that you're all up here and have the lantern and everything, this chasm in the floor, it looks like the floor actually gave way at some point and fell through. So it's not intended as a trap or anything else. But it's kind of lucky that it was there because it's enabled you to get into these caverns behind the statue. So, which way do you wish to go?
Just gonna look down the passageway to our left.
It's the one with the stairs. Okay. So you approach that tunnel. Cesora lifts the lantern so you can see further down. These broad, cracked stone steps lead up to a rubble-choked dais. The air is suddenly extremely cold the closer you get to this, and your breath starts to come in steam, which it wasn't before. The roof in here seems to have collapsed on top of a 3-meter tall statue of ice. On the other side of the mound of rubble, there's a door set into the western side of the cavern, made of iron-bound wood, and has a large, prominent keyhole. Though it's shaped like a normal keyhole, the area around the hole is made of ice instead of metal. It's gleaming, clear ice crystal. There is a large key in the statue's hand, and it too seems to be made of ice. There's a smashed coffer just to one side of the door, with a number of old scroll cases spilled out of it.
I'll have a look at the scroll cases.
Okay. Right, so you ease forward around the statue, I guess?
Yes.
There seem to be 5 scrolls in leather cases. There's scrivening on them in the arcane tongue, which you don't speak. So you'll need a magician to decode what these are, but if the titles are in arcane, then the odds are they're magical scrolls.
Yeah, also hit the fan.
Sorry, the fan noise is really bad. Okay, thanks. So do you want to gather them up? The scrolls?
Sorry, my dog was barking.
Okay.
Yes, I'll have a look at what's on the scroll.
It's all in the arcane language, so you can't read it or know what it means.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll
have to check with Kerridan when we.
Yeah, stow them away. See what Kerridan thinks of them.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to do anything?
So we said there's a There's a big statue holding a.
Yeah, it's a statue of ice holding a key in one hand. The statue's tall, about as tall, maybe slightly taller than Becca, and it has a single eye carved into its otherwise featureless face. And it's holding this... Kind of. Yeah, and it's holding this key that's also made of ice in its hand. It looks like that, you know, that really clear, high-quality ice they make ice sculptures out of? It's that kind of ice, but it's got a slight sort of sea green tint to it.
And there's a door with a keyhole.
And the keyhole is also made of ice.
I don't suppose the door could be locked with a ice lock and unlocked with an ice key, do?
Well, it does get cold up here, as you can tell.
But I wouldn't. Alright, I suppose. See if I can remove this.
Okay.
Well, I can use my new key remover. Yep.
Is that your battle axe? Is it?
Yeah. Sorry, limb remover. Yeah. I could.
Okay, so which approach do you want to take then? Do you want to hack off its hand at the wrist to get the key, or do you want to take the key?
You'll probably break it. It's made out of ice.
Yeah.
If you hit it too hard.
We'll see if you can take it first. If it comes out, then that's great.
All right.
If not, I'll be ready with the axe.
Yeah, let's see what. See if I can take the key.
Okay, so yeah, you reach out with one hand to take the key. The moment you touch it, the ice statue springs to life and lamps you with its icy fist, catching you completely by surprise.
That did. That was the first time something came to life and I didn't
Completely
predict it.
What's your defense?
18.
Oh, hang on, that's a surprise turn though, isn't it? 1 second. Fuck it. Okay, what's your evasion? Let's do that instead.
My evasion is 7.
7, okay.
Makes more sense.
Yeah. And your armor rating is 6, isn't it?
6, yes.
Okay. Right, it smashes you in the jaw with an icy fist as tough as granite rock. Take 8 wounds.
Oh.
Gosh, should have just cut his bloody hand off. Aye.
Yeah. So your armor rings like a bell and you're thrown back from this statue as it springs to life. Right. So now we're on normal turns. Caesura.
Attack with the Sword of Order and parry with the Gladius.
Okay. Well, you got the lantern in one hand at the moment. So do you want to just fight and hold the lantern, or do you want to drop the lantern and draw your other blade? What do you want to do?
What's the chances of magical ice melting if I chuck the lantern on it?
There's only one way to find out.
As I said, who cares wins. Chuck at it.
So chuck the lantern at it, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Roll under your attack.
4.
Okay. Right, the lantern smashes against it and engulfs it in flames. Its features sort of get slushy and start to run down its face as the oil burns, but the oil's rapidly being sloughed off with the slush. Okay, so... Okay, but for the moment the fire's still stuck to it and blazing away. Right. Elaine.
Disgusting thing. Kill it. Slash with my sword.
Okay. Right.
How
So
much do I take away?
take your sword from your offhand and leap to the attack. Take 3 away from your attack.
I hit.
Okay. Roll armor bypass because it's actually got a chance of stopping you.
Six.
Okay. You slash out with your blade and it just ricochets off the ice, cutting nothing but a tiny chip out of it. And the sword vibrates in your hand, making your fingers a bit numb. Becca.
Okay, well, I had my new axe prepped,
Yep.
so I'm going to smash this down.
Okay, take 3 away from your attack and roll.
4, that's a hit. Oh,
Armor bypass.
4.
Okay. Right, so the axe kind of chips into it and gets slightly stuck, and then as it moves, gets pulled free, but it's just cut a tiny fragment out of it. Right, its go. As it moves, it gives the fire oxygen. And then it flares up slightly. Okay. It turns on Caesura and lunges out with its one free icy hand. What's Caesura's defense?
10.
10. Okay. You are struck, I'm afraid. What's your armor rating?
2.
Right. It opens its hand at the last minute and slams its palm into your chest, throwing you back into the wall. Take 5 wounds.
I'll collapse.
What are you on? 0?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're knocked unconscious. Right. Elaine.
I'll turn my sword around to the pommel and try to blunt force through its forehead.
Okay. So give it a good smash. Right. Take 4 away from your attack and roll.
Yes, I hit.
Roll armor bypass.
9 this time.
Okay, and roll damage.
10.
Okay. Yeah, you smash down with the pommel of your blade, and a crack appears through the ice, and part of it slides off, melting around the edges. But it still seems to be going. Right, Becca's go.
Okay, I've had time to time to get used to this new weapon and to wind up.
Yep.
So I'm going to aim for the crack and drive this axe into the crack.
Okay, go for it.
3.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
Armor bypass roll.
Come on, come on. Yes! 9.
Okay, and damage.
Oh. 11.
11.
Bang.
Christ.
I hit that crack.
Yeah, you
On the
smash
money.
into the crack on its head, and where it was completely see-through through its whole body, now it's all cracked and looks like snow. So, 1 or 2 more blows should finish it off, all things being well. Right. It lunges towards Elaine, but as it moves, the fire flares up again. And is still burning, remarkably. Right. Elaine's defense.
My defense is 15. No, 18.
Unfortunately for you, it scored a crit. Which means straight through armor. How much health have you got left?
10.
Well, you've just taken 9 of that.
Ooh.
Okay, that smashes its fist into your chest and knocks your armor back into you so hard that even through the padding you think it's cracked a couple of ribs. Alright, Caesora's knocked out. Elaine.
Finish it off. How many to take away from its defense?
Take 4 away for its defense.
Yeah, I hit.
Okay. Right. And roll armor bypass.
8.
Yep, and damage.
7.
Okay. Right, this time, when you strike it with the tip of your sword, it doesn't just chip or ping off, but because the structure of it has started to come apart, your blade cuts into it, and you're able to twist and open up the rest of the cracks throughout its body, and it just shatters into pieces, leaving the key on the ground.
Well, has the key begun to melt?
The key still seems to be intact.
Well, I should grab it and put it in a lock and turn it straight away.
Straight away?
Why?
Okay. When you turn the key, it instantly turns into water, as does the lock, and the door swings open, revealing a long rectangular room, at the centre of which is an altar with a green globe set upon it, covered with lace-like fronds of ice. A heap of gold coins and jewellery lies in front of the altar. It's the jewellery, the treasure, looks like it might be worth a couple of 100 crowns at first glance.
Nice. All right. Just wanted to make sure the key didn't melt. Right. Now let's go and whack up Caesora.
Just pull my helmet back enough for me to spit out some blood.
And a fragment of tooth.
Yeah. Oh.
Medieval dentistry, not fun.
And I'm probably gonna swig a healing potion.
Okay, so you can regain 7 health.
This is TPK, isn't it?
Very nearly. Not intentional, nothing to do with the comments on the group.
I mean, the scenario is a TPK. What do you have any salts or ichor or anything, or to encourage Caesar to wake up?
You could slap him, but that might finish him off at this point.
I have 1 remaining healing potion. My backpack.
Yeah, I've got 1 left as well.
You've got that healing amulet as well.
Oh,
but that's
who had
super
that?
powerful. Elaine's got that.
Oh yeah, I do. I was saving that for like.
Well, like now perhaps could be a good time.
Becca's still got a couple of potions of healing.
Well, I used 1, so I've got 1 left.
I'd make it 2 from where I've been keeping track. Does Caesora have any on him that could be used?
That amulet, Elaine, that restores your full health, doesn't it? Not just 7. So
Yeah.
So if you're on 1 hit point, you or Caesora would benefit most from that.
I've already drunk the healing potion.
All right, so better give it to Caesora then.
Oh. He takes all my stuff. Just give him a healing potion.
Well, Becca's got 2, so...
Yeah, okay then, yeah.
Yeah, so 1 healing potion for Caesora. Caesora can have 7 health back and awakens again.
You cheat your time.
I was counting the treasure first before we woke you up.
Find
It's
out
all
if it's
there.
right.
It's all there. Honest governor.
I'm not that type of governor, lassie. And what's that about me taking all your stuff, Sir Lane? We're friends, are we not? The amount of times I've saved your butt is unreal. I've lost count. Yeah.
Did I not have 2 healing potions?
See these
I've
baronets?
deleted one when you used it.
See these baronets? All they're interested in is meat.
There was 2 though. There was in my weapons and gear. There was one, and then in my backpack there was one.
Okay. Must have actually accidentally taken off 2. Okay, so you still got one in your backpack then.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So everyone who's taking potions and so on has now taken them, I take it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think so.
what now? Do you want the room description again?
Go for it, Grim.
Okay, so it's a long rectangular room, at the centre of which is an altar. There's a green globe set on the altar that's covered in lace-like fronds of ice. Around the altar, in front of the globe, is a pile of gold coins and jewellery. You reckon it's probably worth about 200 gold crowns or so, all told. But it's all covered in this same sort of patina of frost and ice that's on the globe. Pardon me.
Well, that would nearly pay for another healing potion, wouldn't it? From old Mother Waterface.
It's
Indeed.
still there.
How much were they? About 100 crowns each, weren't they? 50 crowns each.
Yeah, and that was mate's race.
Yeah. All right, so
We should press on them.
So you're going to loot the treasure or leave it be?
yeah, I'm going in. Yeah.
Yeah, might as well take it.
Okay, so Becca said first. So Becca steps up and reaches for a handful of gold chains and coins. When you touch it, cold jolts up your arm and it sort of freezes you solid. You can feel numbness. You take 5 health points before you manage to draw back.
Oh no. Well, that hurt.
For a moment, you thought you saw a face in the globe, sort of staring out at you.
The globe.
Yeah, the sphere that's on top of the altar. For a moment, behind the frost, you thought you saw a face, a dark face, with a pointed beard and a curly moustache.
Yeah, it's Nick.
Yeah,
And that's it.
waiting for Becca.
Oh, what was this globe made of? Was it crystal or ice or glass or
What, when you look at your arm?
what? No, the globe. Sorry, the globe.
So the globe, it's you don't know what it's made of. Possibly ice, but it's covered in frost, so maybe it's glass.
Well, I'm going to use this big axe and test it. Test the globe with the big axe.
Okay, so percussive testing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a magic axe, isn't it? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so you swing down with the axe. The globe shatters into pieces. Smoke boils up out of it and takes the form of one of the heretics that Elaine has been fighting in the Crusades before. He looks like one of them. Sort of lean, dark features, turban, but he is as black as night, and it's like there's stars floating in his body. His beard, it looks like it's made of ice or is frozen white in place. His eyes are glowing blue. He's starts laughing, and jabbers away in whatever language it is they speak over there to you.
Hang on.
Okay, he is saying, thank you, you've freed me from my prison.
Yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately you can't say anything comprehensible while wearing that. It says, strange language you speak. Yeah.
He says that we freed him from his prison. He seems grateful. Perhaps he might grant us a boon. Will you grant us a boon for freeing you?
What? Sorry, I don't understand a word of it. However, and you can't understand me. This is tricky. It's traditional amongst my people to grant wishes when people release us, but we don't understand each other, so this seems to be,
I shall touch my hand and...
Helmet, Grim.
What?
Is Becca wearing the helmet?
Yes, so she can understand him, but can't speak to him.
I shall touch my hand and stroke it, in the universal form of payment.
Yeah. Okay, he jabbers away and nods his head vigorously.
I put a spell on you.
Right, so he looks you all over thoughtfully, sort of drifts around you, taking a look at you from all angles. Right, then he makes an expansive wave of his arms. Your health is all restored. And you will all take 1 less damage from frozen spells and effects.
Just for this adventure, permanent.
Permanently.
I shall bow deeply in gratitude.
Right. He snaps his fingers and disappears in a puff of cold, freezing mist.
Get in, I did not expect that. Well, some good fortune. Fortune does favour the brave, Cesaro.
Yeah.
You keep saying it, but I don't believe you.
And once the gold is defrosted, you can half-inch it.
Did he look like you by any chance, Grim? Dungeon Master doesn't want to kill us all off, so he goes off for the next
I think if I claimed to look like an Arabian genie, I'd get done for digital blackface or something, so no.
No cultural misappropriation.
Yeah, I think I'm allowed to get away with it with the Scots, but not anyone else.
No comment.
Right, so
Doron is still with you, and he was helping fight the skeletons. There were more. I just left them on him to smash. So, yeah.
I believe that was addition, boys and girls.
Right, so it's a... Yeah, I'll trouser the treasure.
Yeah. So, yeah, you just shove it away as quick as you can. Right, so there's no other way out of here, and there doesn't seem to be anything under the dais, so that leaves the only way to go is back to the chasm room. So you've been west, there's north, south, or east?
East.
Okay, so pick your way around the chasm, with Cesura taking the lead with the lantern. There's an alcove to one side, but there doesn't seem to be anything in it, and otherwise the tunnel carries on to the east. So keep going.
Yep.
All right. The tunnel snakes this way and that, and then opens up into another chamber. There's an exit to the north from this chamber, and you're coming in at the southwest. This rubble-filled cavern snakes upward to a flat platform. To the north of this platform is a set of crudely carved steps that curves up into the darkness. To the extreme east is a large stalactite hanging from the cavern's rocky ceiling. You can see the frozen remnants of a legionary encased in the ice at the base of the stalactite. His bronze armour appears to have been crushed as though by an enormous vice. His sword appears strangely untarnished or crushed.
Oh, there's another gladius for your collection. This is Zora.
I'll walk cautiously up to it then, checking if there's any pressure pads or anything on the way up.
There don't appear to be, but he's clearly been here a long time, and the drips of water from the stalactite over many years have built up this layer of frozen mineralized water that covers him.
Is the sword in his hand, or is it a scarab? Or
The sword is in his hand, but it is encased in the ice.
Okay. Using the pommel of my sword of Valda, I start tapping it to loosen the ice.
Right, you take great care, and probably more time than you should, but you do manage to crack it open and extract the sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's bronze, but it feels as hard as steel, and it's light and almost guides itself in your hand.
Excellent.
Is there any markings on it? Is there any inscription on the pommel of the blade?
The pommel is in the shape of an eagle's head, and the guard is in the shape of spread claws.
Does he look like a standard bearer?
No, he just seems like a regular dude from the looks of him. Though he's quite well preserved, but you don't really have any point of comparison.
No one can speak Backar, can they?
Yeah. So do you want to go back the way you came, or carry on up the stairs?
Was there a scarab sword on his body?
A what sword?
A scarab, the sword he had.
Yes, but that hasn't fared up quite so well. So, yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Okay, so carry on.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. This map makes no sense. Give me a second. That really makes no sense. Hang on. Okay. So the rough-hewn steps spiral upwards for many meters. The passage gets quite narrow, and you're what you think is probably about halfway up, as best as you can guess anyway, when you pass by a narrow fissure in the left-hand wall. It looks like it could be possible for an average-sized person to squeeze up through the fissure. But otherwise the path carries on.
Does it look man-made?
No, it looks natural, and looks like it's widened fairly recently, cracked more and broken up more rock. There's a bit of a horrible smell coming out from the fissure, which you notice as you linger.
Does it smell like a corpse?
No, stronger, like freshly manured fields.
So describe this room again.
So you're about halfway up, you think, a set of crudely hewn stone stairs, and to one side you've just passed a fissure in the rock, which seems to be big enough for someone to crawl through if they're of sort of average build. And there's a horrible smell coming out of it.
I wouldn't want to
go on.
I wouldn't want to venture inside there. Besides, I'm probably too wide to fit inside.
Yeah. Basically, you'll have to have a strength of 12 or under to be able to fit through.
Oh.
So can anyone...
I'm just big enough to fit through.
Yeah, but you are wearing your armour and so on, so that's bulks you up a bit.
Nope, it's just Azora. Again. I just look at Azora.
Well,
It's up to you. I don't really think we should, but you seem to like
fuck
investigating
this,
things.
Fuck this for Game of Toy Soldiers. Flashbang in the hole.
just toss a flashbang in the hole?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a loud bang that echoes and ricochets off the walls and partially deafens you all. A huge flare of light. And a flight of bats come hurtling out of the fissure, flap around you, and then fly away as fast as they can, heading upwards.
Happy now, Lane?
Oh, that's what the funny smell was. The ammonia.
COVID-19. COVID-19 making a guest appearance.
Yeah, was it Groom? Was it called?
Guano.
Wano.
Right. Do you want to venture in now, or just leave it?
I'm going to venture in.
Well, it must be safe now, isn't it?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
Zora's the
fine.
only one who can really fit. Okay, so you clamber up and squeeze in as best you can.
Yep.
With your reflexes and climbing gear, that's no problem. Okay, this split, this fissure, which is piled up with bat dung, which is rather unpleasant as you have to climb through it at some points, eventually opens out into a small cavern about 4 meters high and 4 meters wide. And another narrow fissure goes upwards from its ceiling, but recent rockfalls have blocked it off. Slumped in one of its corners is an ancient mouldering skeleton, clad in breaking down bronze and leather armour, but it clutches a battle standard with an ornate flag at its head, and the standard and the flag don't seem to have been touched by time.
Oh, there's the signifier.
Yep. Do we know how many bronze dudes were actually here, sent here, Grim?
Stories vary. They used to march in legions of 100, but then they were split down into smaller numbers, so who knows?
Okay, well, I'll cautiously crawl up to the cadaver.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about this, dear friend. You won't be needing this. Take the standard.
Okay. 1 second, I just need to look something up.
So here we go. I'm on my hands and knees and I'm fucking against a skeleton. That's all I fucking need. Well, at least I got healed from the Djinn, which was kind of them.
Oh, come on.
Oh, by the way, I am sorry for swearing. If there's any children listening, I do apologise. I don't.
Okay. Right. Yeah, so you grasp the standard, and nothing bad happens.
Yet.
Yeah. It's a bit unwieldy, however.
Can I roll it up?
You could roll the flag up, but that doesn't mean you can roll the standard itself up. Yeah, it's a single
the staff
sort of piece.
like it's undamaged as well, or is it just the actual?
The whole thing is undamaged. The staff part, the crossbeam, and the flag.
I'll roll up the banner thing and take the standard and crawl all the way back to the opening.
Yep.
Say, you guys do what you want with this. I'll be back in a second. I'll give them the banner and the staff, and then I'll go back in.
Yep. Okay, so you crawl back to the body.
Well, look at that, Elaine. Then which one of us spoke backhole? We could see what it says. Is there, are there? I assume there's letters and numbers on it that we can't really understand.
Yeah. Can't Elaine speak Bacal?
I can.
Yes, you have intermediate.
somewhat.
Right, so it's the standard of whichever legion it was. I can't remember offhand.
Or was it the 9th or the 13th? Or
It's something like that.
Was it not the Fourth Reich? Fourth column.
but it might tell us the cohort or give us some idea of how many men. A cohort was about 600, wasn't it? A company was about 100.
Yeah. It looks like there were only about 20 to 30 men, so just like an expeditionary force.
So it's like a platoon pennant.
Yeah.
But so that's very unusual for it to be enchanted, isn't it?
Yeah. So they must have either been very heroic or very wealthy. The staff is dedicated to their goddess of archery and wisdom.
It seems to be dedicated to a pagan god.
You're talking to a pagan.
Yeah. Don't knock them. Yeah. Is Artemis, isn't it? But Becca would know that. But
Yeah.
Becca would know the equivalent. Becca probably worships the same god with a different name.
Yeah, that's the advantage of paganism. There's always an equivalent god or goddess.
Yeah. Artemis.
Bacchus.
Yeah, you were crawling back to the body. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Just checking them all over.
He has a handful of crudely struck silver coins. That's about it, really. The rest of his stuff is so pitted and screwed up with age that there's not really much more to be said about it.
I'll put 2 coins in his eyes and take the change.
Okay.
Sign of respect for the dead.
Yeah. And it's a pagan tradition from those times that's still...
Yeah. Exactly.
So is this a 6 foot pole? Is it with a?
Yeah, it's a great big stand with the sort of unit flag, whatever you want to call it, on the end of it. So it's rather cumbersome. It'll halve your movement and evasion while you're carrying it, and you're not sure what its actual positive effect is.
Can I strap it to my back at all? Is that for?
It'll still, because it gets in the way so much, it'll still
Yeah.
slow you down a bit. But yeah, you can keep hold of it.
Are you sure you want to carry that with you?
Well, I don't know. What do you want to do with this banner? It says, "Oh, you found it."
Right. Let's see. I'll carry it. It's my spoil. I'll carry it.
All right. So you heft hold of it as best you can.
Yep.
And right, carry on up the steps. Right. You emerge into an L-shaped cavern, of much larger size. It slopes downwards to the north and upwards to the east. Sorry, other way around. Upwards to the north and down to the east.
Okay. Oh.
My imagining, if we go to the east, we'll end up back where we came.
Mm-hmm. In which case, north seems like a better idea.
The only way
Depends,
is that
do we wish to... I'm talking to the GM. in character.
Yeah. And the northernmost path is the one that's furthest to the left, which is tradition. No, just saying. Established precedent.
Oh, just look at you as a reference, Greg. You're so
Is
tall.
it-
You're
Did
such a
you,
tall.
did you say this path goes to the east or the west?
There's the path to the north, which seems to be
Yeah.
heading upward, and it's the path to the east that looks like it winds around and goes down.
And from the main chamber, we went to the east passage.
Let me see.
will
Okay,
keep-
so you came in, you slaughtered a bunch of skeletons and nearly died.
Yeah.
Scaled the statue, came out into a cavernous room. You went west, freed the djinn, then went east, and that led you around past the stalactite, up the rough stairs, past the fissure where you got the standard, and then eventually out to here where you are now.
And then two paths in north and east.
Two paths
yeah,
north and east, yeah.
I'm mistaken. I have no idea where this passageway to the east goes.
Shall we keep going up?
And do you wish to search this cavern completely, or try to get through quickly?
This just seems to be bare rock, barely worked at all. It's just widened a little bit to the north and to the east.
I think we should go north as well.
Okay, so you trudge on to the north with Caesura lugging this great big standard thing. So it turns into more crudely cut stone steps. And then they continue upwards beneath a wide arch. About 20 metres up, you come to a section where both sides of the tunnel wall are frozen, the ice practically touching in the middle. An intense chill plays across the space between the two. It looks as though one of you at a time might be able to squeeze through the gap.
Do you feel that coldness emanating from these walls?
Ever so slightly.
Do you think it is perhaps wise to go back and take the east passageway?
I'll second that.
Okay, so you want to head back and
Yeah.
take the east passage. Okay, it winds around and down, following the crude stone steps, and joins up. No, it comes down and up against a dead end, or what it certainly appears to be a dead end.
You want to use your toy, Becca?
What for mining?
No,
Yes.
You're stone to see if there's a secret passageway here or something.
This corridor just ends.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
bit weird because the
See no-
steps are
see no
carved
reason why.
all the way up to this wall.
Okay, I'll use the axe just to tap and prod.
Okay. Tap. The magical blade digs into the rock, and the sheet of rock, which is really all it is, remarkably thin, really, just sort of crumbles away like an eggshell. And it opens back out into the room with the chasm that you first climbed up into. So this comes out where the alcove was.
So basically, if we took this alcove originally, we would have came across this fake wall.
I thought it was a secret entrance that we didn't
Yes.
see,
It was.
so we didn't have to climb up the pitons.
No, you still would have had to do that. But you wouldn't have had to climb up the fissure where you found the standard. So it doesn't particularly look like there's a way up that doesn't pass through the ice, though there are still two corridors off this chamber that you haven't tried, to the south and north.
If I remember correctly, the north is what the one with the greaves. We would have to go one by one, single file. Yeah.
No, that's if you go back the way you came again. But from the
Yeah.
chamber with the fissure where you first initially climbed up the statue, You've been west and east. You haven't been north or south from that chamber.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you. Yes. Okay. Let's go north from that chamber then, if everyone's okay with that.
Okay. Right. And... Right, the steps here go down, and they wind around like a snake. And eventually, after a great deal of turning around, come into a square chamber. There is an almost perfect cube of black stone, about a yard on each side, sat in the middle of this chamber.
Very suspicious.
Yeah.
Does it look like onyx?
Does it look like what, sorry?
Does it look like onyx? Black onyx?
I think it's black granite. There's little veins of crystal in it. On the four walls of this chamber, there are crescent shapes in the walls. So there's like a graven circle, obviously meant to be part of the moon, and then there's a crescent shape. There's one on the left-hand side of the circle, there's one on the right-hand side of the circle, there's one on the top of the circle, and one on the bottom. On top of this solid lump of stone is a sickle-shaped sword with a silvery blade.
Perhaps an enchanted blade. So I've become weary of this this place.
I'll second that.
Still like the look of
Was
it
it-
though.
Does this feel like a sacrificial altar? This
It does have a kind of cultish feel to it, certainly. This whole cave system seems to be some sort of occult retreat or something, perhaps in service to the whatever god that statue was of. Or maybe it's a statue of Balor, who knows. But the whole place seems devoted to ice and darkness.
Perhaps we should leave this thing here.
does Doran have an opinion, or is he just chilling?
He looks around. I reckon we're behind the statue, so we've kind of come back where we started.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're right.
We're gonna have to go through the ice, but I dinna trust it. One person at a time. Statues have attacked us.
Skeletons have attacked us and we've got to go tail.
Aye, but I'd rather no fight when there's no need. So maybe we can melt the ice with a wee fire or something.
A wee fire? I'll see if I can make a wee fire for you, Don.
But we already lost one lantern, so I don't know. It's nae like there's fuck all to burn in here. Course, if that fucking lazy ass mage was with us.
Exactly, Don. Exactly.
Yeah, she's always in the bloody library, isn't she, doing research?
Eating magic mushrooms, no doubt.
Aye,
Perhaps we
but
should.
go on, Aline.
Perhaps we should search the southern cavern.
Aye, maybe there's a dragon in there we can recruit.
I'm up for that.
Right, so you wind your way back up the stairs into the room with the crevasse and into the southern chamber. This is a large cavern with a frozen pool at its centre. There's a fountain in the middle of it, its frozen column of water rising 2 meters up into the air. A number of bronze-clad warriors stand in attitudes of flight about the room, frozen solid in place. You notice that a number of them have gold rings in their hands or on their fingers. Approaching the pool, you can see a primitive stone font in front of it, with a single shallow step just before it. There's a glint of gold in the font, but you'd have to step up to get a better look.
Hang on a minute. These look like did you say they look like bronze chests?
Yeah,
These-
legionaries frozen solid in place, as if they'd been struck to ice in an instant.
Oh my god. That's us next, isn't it?
Since when were you getting visions, Vex?
We did find a Legionnaire's banner before. Perhaps these are the Legionnaires who ventured here last.
Hmm.
I'm stating the obvious, aren't I?
Quite possibly, Sally. Quite possibly.
Well, I think it's a good sign that if we're finding dead legionnaires, then we're going the right way, isn't it? That's a good sign.
But whatever it is in here that did this, paid to several of them.
Did you say they were like in a circle, Grim?
As if they were fleeing from the fountain.
Ah, right. Okay. So something's obviously came from the fountain and zapped them from behind.
One of them is sort of mid-step, directly in front of the font. It's as if he's just turned away and got frozen in place.
And the fonts in the middle of the room, right?
The font... Well, sorry, in the middle of the room, there's this fountain, which is completely frozen solid. On the side of the fountain that faces the cave entrance that you've just come in, there's the font. And the font is raised up slightly, just in front of the fountain. It has a small step in front of it. So that one legionnaire is just standing off the step. Like he got maybe 1-2 paces.
We should leave that too. Let's go to the place with the narrow ice walls.
Okay, let's leave this behind and go back the way you came. Okay, right, so eventually you arrive back at this place where the ice walls have narrowed so well. The ice on the walls has narrowed so much that only a single person could get through at a time.
Try to get through, but get through quickly.
Fire!
So,
I'm telling you.
How much oil do we have? Not a lot, do we?
We're down one lantern, but you've still got 2 lanterns which are full and 3 flasks of oil. Plus Doron's got oil and a lantern as well.
as we need something to burn.
Doron goes through his pack. He replaced his armor from stuff that the mercenaries were wearing, so he drags out that sort of fur-lined leather and chain that he was wearing, and the sort of shoulder cloak that goes with it. This should burn.
That's standard you found, Cesora.
It's magic. That won't burn.
Perhaps it might
The
come
only,
in
thing,
useful.
the only thing which can burn this would be magic fire, and since we don't have magic fire, eyes roll.
I was just saying that the standard you found, Cesora, it might come in useful.
Yeah, guess that. That's why I took it.
You wrap the standard with furs, soak it in oil, made quite a large torch.
A huge torch. Yeah, and it won't burn because it's magic. That's a very good idea. Okay, so yeah, you wrap Doron's spare cloak, and sort of the leather parts of his armor that he was wearing before around. Soak that in oil. He finds a few other scraps and bits and pieces in his pack. You sort of tie it, bind it, wrap it around, and knot it onto the end of the standard, and set it alight. It burns pretty well. The flames flare up, spots of oil sort of spit off it. Right. Give it a go then, says Aura. It's your standard.
Aye, it's my standard. I'll start walking cautiously, Glenn.
Okay. So you hold the standard in front of you. It does melt the ice, but it immediately starts to refreeze. So you will be able to pass through if you use the standard.
How long does the ice corridor look like it goes on for?
The narrow part doesn't go on very far at all. So provided you all sort of hunker close, you should be able to get through without a problem.
Well, what I was going to do is get so far and then stretch out past it like a beacon,
Yeah.
so everyone else can use it to get through.
Yep. Yeah, so you can push it one way than the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think, now and again, in the dancing light of the fire, you see faces moving around within the ice, but they don't approach the flame, and you're able to pass through clearly. Right. On the other side. Alright, the corridor continues. You find more steps, and then eventually it opens up into a colossal chamber. At least compared to the rest that you've seen. Where's the description? Right, a vast cavern opens out in front of you. Like many of the other caverns in this complex, its walls are covered in a thick layer of ice, as is its floor. What looks like a shallow depression forms the westernmost part of the cavern. Set into the southwest wall are two glowing blood-red ovals. In front of them, a heap of metallic objects gleams in the ruddy light. The cavern stretches away to the east, beyond the reach of your torches. Oh, lanterns in this case.
Lantern.
Yeah.
Singular.
Oh, well, I'm not going for the shiny this time. I got spanked the last time I went for the shinies.
I look at Sir Lane with a smile.
Oh, we should just press onwards.
Okay. So you're skirting around the pile of shinies.
Yeah.
Right. So there's those glittering red lights sort of almost seem to follow you around the room, but you don't want to really get any closer to get a look at that. So you steer clear of it and follow the cavern around to the east. There is a great cleft in the floor running from southwest to northeast, a few meters wide. 2 meters wide. On the far side of it seems to be a new area and a continuation of the stairs which lead upwards. So you're going to have to get across this across this crevasse to carry on upwards.
And this is all inside a mountain, am I correct?
This is all inside a mountain. Yeah.
Do we actually feel like we're actually getting any higher than mountain, like altitude or anything?
It's hard to tell because air won't move that freely through these tunnels, so you can't particularly tell what altitude you're at from your ears popping or anything. And it's been confusing with lots of up and down motion, but you think you're pretty high at this point.
Well, a 2 meter crevasse, that's a simple run and jump, isn't it?
Yeah, should be.
Was it? If you give me one end of the rope, I'll run and jump.
Yeah. So with that precaution, you can all make it across that easy enough. Yeah, it's just a running jump and holding your nerve. So yeah, you can all get across with the help of the rope. And then you can carry on climbing up. Okay, the stairs spiral upwards, then turn around the other way. Beyond the crevasse, there's another flight of cracked stone steps leading upwards. A deathly stillness hangs in the air, and wreaths of icy mist linger in the corners of the winding stairway. Halfway up, there's a recess with a mirror rimed about with frost, covering its entire back wall. A crystal mallet, about 1 metre long, lies on a low stone plinth to one side of the alcove. Or the passageway continues onwards.
Crystal mallet.
Well, there's an invitation. Aye.
Yeah, a mirror and a mallet, but it is bad luck to break a mirror.
But does it look like an ice mirror?
It's covered in frost and ice, but whether that's coming from the mirror or just the unnatural chill that affects everything here is hard to tell.
How does the mallet look? Does it look like it's just like mallet looking, or finished?
It's a crystal mallet, so it looks like that magical ice that the key and the statue were made of.
I'll cautiously walk up.
Okay. The mirror is a full-length mirror. It's a little bit hazed by the frost, but you see your own reflection crystal clear on the other side.
I'll see if I can pick up the mallet.
You pick up the mallet. It feels solid and doesn't seem to be melting in your hand.
Do you guys want to get a head start?
You're gonna break that mirror with the mallet.
Yes.
Alright, I'll draw my sword.
You ready, Becca?
Seems so inviting.
Well, yeah, I'm going to stand back here and get out of the way.
I'll say to Dawn, get ready to rumble. Shut my eyes, I go, clobber inside. Smash.
Okay, you swing out with the mallet, and your hand passes through the pane of the mirror, and you weren't expecting that, and it throws you off balance, and you sort of slip and fall and bonk your head on the wall.
Talk about unlucky. Let me guess, I've just got a lump, nothing serious.
Nothing serious, not enough for a wound. Just
And the
embarrassment.
mirror's not even smashed.
No. Its surface ripples slightly like water, but thicker, and then comes to a halt.
Right.
You just
that-
go through the... But you saw that?
Yes, I did see that, and I got back by it. So obviously, it's some sort of entity. That's entity. I'll stand back up, dust myself down.
Yep.
And you said there's a way out to the north as well, yeah?
From where you are, north would take you back down the steps where you came from, or the path continues on to the south.
Dale, if you guys want to go and inspect this mirror before we go south.
It looks quite dangerous, doesn't it, really?
It just knocked me back because I thought I was going to smash it. It didn't do any damage to me, except for a lump.
Only your pride.
Yeah, I'll put it back up. Yeah.
Well, if I tie the elf, let's tie the elf rope around you and see if you can look into it, step into it.
I saw my own reflection. When I picked up the mallet, it said it's clobbering time. It fought back. It shoved me back. So obviously something is within that mirror, some entity, life force, some intelligence, brought me back. Is there any scriptures of that on the mallet?
No, it's just crystalline.
Just crystalline. Have we still got that banner torch thing still active?
It's no, everything's burnt down to soot now, but you've still got the standard.
All right, because I was going to use that to sort of like quad with the mirror.
Well, you could prod the standard through, yeah.
Yeah, but the question is it going to drag me through?
So, only one way to find out.
Why me? Why do I have to be so stupid at times? Why me? Why me? Fuck it, I'm going to go up to it. I'll look at myself in this mirror.
Okay, you
Have a
look
good
like
look.
you.
Okay, I'll start walking slowly up to it.
Okay, are you sticking the standard through it, or?
No, I'm going to
Okay.
walk up to it.
Right, you step up to the mirror. You're face to face with your own reflection.
I'll tap it with my finger.
Okay, it ripples, but sort of retains your reflection. It just sort of goes all funhouse mirror a bit. But your finger goes through the surface.
How does it feel? Cold?
Yeah, cold. Colder.
I think this must be a portal to somewhere because I don't like the feel of it. In fact, someone tie some elven rope, put a lasso around me, and if I come across anything, I'll give you a tug and you can throw me back. All right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so you lash the rope around his waist and take hold of it. And brace yourselves just in case. And then,
Was it 30 metres?
yes, 30 meters long.
I'll shut my eyes as I go through Grim.
Okay, it ripples as he passes through with his eyes closed. And the moment every part of him is through the mirror, it snaps back to solidity and the end of the rope just falls down.
Oh.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
on the other side, okay, Cesora with his eyes shut steps out into open air, feels frozen, wind blasted. Yeah, and you find yourself falling.
I'll get into a position I can comfort
What, do
my
you-
hope.
Do you want to open your eyes, perhaps?
Yes.
Yes? Okay,
Yeah.
you're toppling off an incredibly narrow ledge on the side of the mountain. Right. What's your reflexes?
I hate you, Grim. 16.
Okay, roll d20, get 12 or under.
8.
Okay, you desperately windmill your arms and twist around, managing to face the side of the mountain, but you do slip off the narrow ledge. Make another reflexes roll just under your reflexes.
4.
Okay, you manage to grab onto the ledge, and now roll under your strength to pull yourself back up.
Any minuses?
Just under your strength.
Dead on 10.
Okay. It's definitely brown trousers time, but that's the first warm sensation you've had in a while shitting your pants. You're on an extremely narrow ledge. It's like it's only a few inches. The mirror is set back in a slight recess here, and you can see the other side of it, and you can see your reflection in it. And this narrow ledge goes off around the mountain, east or west.
Right. Can I prop myself up on this ledge?
Yeah.
Right. Prop myself up.
You're being buffeted by freezing winds, though.
Yeah. Back up against the walls. Take it slow but surely. Go to the east.
Okay. Right. You shimmy it along the wall. And get to a corner. And peering around that corner, you can see that the ledge opens up into a sort of flat area. And on that flat area is a cairn of stones piled up, one on top of the other. But there's also a sort of crawlway entrance into it.
How fierce is the wind?
Pretty goddamn fierce.
Right. I'll
crawl into this room.
This broader ledge.
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to relax for a moment.
Yep.
And you get a little bit of shelter from the wind here. So there's this big cairn of stones parked here with this little sort of crawl-in entrance.
Yep. Oh, do I have to go on all fours, or can I
Yeah,
walk in normal?
you have to get down on all fours if you want to crawl in.
Yeah, I'll crawl in.
Okay. It opens up a bit once you're inside.
Yeah.
It's a big round chamber. There's bones piled around the center of it, and in the center there's like a mound of smaller rocks and earth, but there's bones of like elk and bear bones and other things like that.
Does it look like a sacrificial chamber?
More like a grave, because there's this hump in the middle that's about the length of a man laying down.
Okay, cautiously walk up to it.
Okay. You don't have a lantern with you, though, do you?
No.
There's hardly any light in the little sort of cracks in the stone, and from the entrance behind you, there's little specks of light, but you can barely see in here. A couple of bones crack underfoot. You start to see little lights, like outsized snowflakes, coalescing above the grave as you draw close to it.
Right. Do I actually see what actually is when I get a bit closer? Or...
Do you want to move closer?
Do you also kill the thief? Even though I'm not a thief.
Okay, the specks are slowly forming into the translucent image of a warrior in white armor, with a sort of cap helmet with eye guards and antlers sticking out either side.
Okay, I'll stop.
He holds out his hand, the earth underneath him shakes, and a silvery sword leaps up out of the dirt into his hand.
Okay. Does he go into like a combat stance?
He waves the sword one side to the other, and then takes hold of it with both hands, and looks ready to attack you.
Right. Well, boy, do I wish I had line fighting now, Grim. I'll draw the Twins of Evil, Twins of Destruction, and get ready to get wet.
Okay. What are you two doing while he's disappeared?
I've been entertaining the prospect of chatting up Doran with a view to becoming a princess. But yes, we'll just chat and some low level flirting.
Okay. And Elaine?
How long till we go in after him?
Well, that's up to you.
What we know is like, don't you? Like, he's always come back, isn't he? He's always come back.
Like a bad smell.
Yeah. Like a bad penny.
Could be in danger in there.
Yep, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
He's been gone about five minutes by this point, because it took quite a while to edge around the thing. So another 5 minutes, and yeah. Right. So meanwhile, you and him have the same reflexes, but it's going to go first due to some special abilities it has. Right. It turns insubstantial and sort of flits and flies backwards and forwards across the room before appearing, becoming solid, and swinging at you with this blade. What is your defense?
Maggie's 10.
Right, it strikes you a blow with this silvery blade. What's your armor? Clean through your armor for 6 wounds of damage. So it cleaves at you in the darkness, still sort of flitting and juddering and jutting like it's like a sort of strobe effect as it's disappearing and reappearing around the chamber. But you're struck and cut with this icy blade and thrown back against the walls of the chamber. But it's your go.
Well, I was going to attack with my sword and parry with the other sword.
Yeah.
Right, I'll try and see if there's like a rhythm to his little dance he's doing.
Yeah. So you're
And when his guard's down.
trying to spot
Kebab.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Take 12 away from your attack and roll to hit.
4.
Is that a hit?
Yes.
Okay. Right. You lash out towards him. The sword's about to connect when he flashes and disappears from that point and reappears at another, leaving you stabbing empty air. And then he comes flashing in towards you with the sword, driving its point at you. Your defense is 10, right?
Yep.
The sword drives into your side for another 6 wounds of damage.
Do I not get a chance to parry this?
That's
So-
what your
so
that's what your defense is.
Yeah, because I got +2. My defense is 10. So yeah.
So 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll go.
Okay, to complete this, I'm going to sort of like attack him from. I try and spit roast him with, on either end.
Did you see you got a new Ring of Agonizing Doom, by the way? Because you did. Should be on your sheet somewhere.
I've got a knife of enemy bones.
Yeah, Ring of Agonizing Doom, 4 charges. You still haven't recharged the original one, but there was another one in the loot. But anyway, you were attacking. So, right, take 12 away from your attack and roll to hit.
I get 2.
Okay, and
2. That's
this time, because you've been paying attention to his movements, you sort of anticipate and stab where he's going to be. And this time you drive your blade into him. Roll damage.
so that's ×2, yeah. Because I was attacking them with both swords.
Yeah, you roll damage independently for each weapon.
Right, first one 7, second one 5.
Okay. But that does leave you open to his counter-attack.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah, so you managed to swipe him with both weapons. The magical blades leave sort of bright glowing lines on his body, making him slightly easier to track. But he flashes around the chamber and swings at you again. The blade cuts into you, but is stopped by your armor. So it sort of shaves a chunk of the scales off the armor and gets stuck in it until he flashes and disappears again. You'll go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the one with the Ring of Agonizing Doom. Not Alien has. I've got it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to do what I did before. But this time, I'm going to get ready to parry him. So, aim with the Sword of Ardar and parry him with the gladius.
Okay. So giving yourself the extra defense and a single attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Take 12 away from your attack and roll.
3. Did it.
Okay. And you stab out again where you think it's going to be, but it doesn't appear there, and instead appears elsewhere. It lunges out with its sword again, but only a glancing blow across your head where the sort of hood of the dragon man's skin is. So it's carving your armor apart, but not really getting at you. Your turn.
Did do what I did before.
Okay. Make an attack at -12.
Mm-hmm. 6. Yep, did it.
Okay. Your assassin skills are kind of honing in. You're getting a sense of where it's moving, not only from where you can see it, but where you can feel the air moving. So you managed to strike at the right spot again. Roll damage.
7.
Right. You catch it with the tip of your blade and cut another glowing line through it.
Mm-hmm. See this ring of agonizing doom? What's that? Is that like? Is it just like point at them and it goes zap?
Yeah, you point at them and activate it, and it fires bolts of energy into them.
Yeah. Okay. Just ask him.
Sorry, what's your defense at the moment? 12?
10.
10.
10.
Okay.
Well, it is 12 if I'm doing that main ghost thing as well, yeah.
You said you were, so okay. So, okay. It darts and flashes and flickers around you faster and faster as you start to wear it down. But it manages to strike, coming in at your side and driving its blade into your belly for 7 wounds.
Right. This Ankh of Osiris on death, resurrect with -1 permanent health. That's made down to, you said 7, so that's 6 and 12. What is that? So that's made down to -1.
Okay, so you're unconscious.
Yeah.
And then it will finish you off. But then... Ooh. But then, after it's cleft your head off, your Ankh of Osiris flashes into life, burns with bright light, and you reappear where you were, whole and healed, but with only 15 maximum health.
Yep, I guess that.
Yeah. And the Ankh's burned away and shattered to pieces. But it's surprised, so you get a free attack.
I'm going to scabab him with both swords.
Okay, go for it.
First one, 2, second one, 3.
And roll damage.
First attack, 7, second one, 6.
Okay. Right. It's starting to break apart and to shake and shudder more than it is just from moving. But it does open its mouth, give a chilling shriek, and launches itself at you as hard as it can.
Defense is 10.
Yeah. You twist at the last moment, and the blade cuts into some of your armor. That's peeling it away from your chest, but failing to strike your flesh. Your go.
Slobbering time. Attack him again. Both swords.
Both swords, leaving yourself open. Roll to attack twice.
First one, 3, second one, 5.
You are rolling a d20, aren't you?
I am.
Okay, roll damage twice.
First one, 6, second one, 4.
With a final shriek, it dissipates, and the silver-handled sword drops to the earth.
Any scriptures of that on the sword?
It's an old northern design. Fairly broad-bladed, heavy sword. It's a two-handed sword. It's not quite as long as normal two-handed swords.
So like a sword, hand and half sword.
Yeah, kind of. It feels fairly light in your hand, but when you swing it, it's like it gains mass and weight, so it can cleave harder, but then be light in your hand when you draw it back and maneuver with it.
And yet again, no sheath for it.
Yes, no sheath.
Okay, I'll pick it up.
And?
What do you mean by and? Is there anything else in this room now?
Nothing else that's survived to be worthwhile,
Okay.
just the sword.
Oh. Is there any way out of here by the way I came in?
Just the way you came in, and back along the ledge.
And then go to the west and see what's in the west.
Okay, well, you arrive back where the mirror is just as the others have decided to come looking for you. So, how are you going to go about that, guys?
Yeah, I'm just gonna sort of like pick up my nerve and walk through.
Okay. Take 2 away from your reflexes and roll that or under on a d20.
Sorry.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. So you step out and sort of immediately realise what's up and stop yourself and grab hold of the rock. You're balanced extremely precariously on an edge. And just off to your left, Caesora is inching his way back along the ledge, trying to carry an almost two-handed sword at the same time.
Zora, are you okay?
It's just a fucking flesh. Of course I'm okay.
You died!
Sorry.
It's not just a flesh wound, you died.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that.
Well, yeah, it would spoil your reputation.
Yeah, it's for my reputation. Yeah, I'm alright, Sir Elaine, thanks. What are you doing out here?
I came after you. Let's go back.
Well, why didn't you go the way you came and I go the way I came?
Because you've done
We
enough splitting the party one player shenanigans so far.
Okay, I'll start. Does the actual mirror actually embedded into the actual rock base?
Yes, it's back a little bit in a slight alcove, but Elaine's in your way, so...
Can you go back through, please, Sir Elaine? I'll be through after you.
Yeah, I'll back out.
Okay, you go bonk off the mirror. Becca,
Doesn't seem to...
Becca and Doron hear a loud clunk from outside.
Now, I'm just going to push my face to the mirror.
Okay, Becca's face appears through the mirror.
Okay.
What's going on?
Doesn't seem to let us through on the other side.
Oh dear.
I know one thing which might be able to crack it. I've still got the mallet grim.
Yep, I know.
Try him.
Okay, you've reached past Elaine after Becca's taken her face out of the mirror, hopefully.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and bang the mirror with the crystal hammer. It shatters into fragments, which fall down around your feet and dissolve away like they're melting, granting you access back into the tunnel. And once you're back in, the mirror reassembles itself.
That was one fucking tough cookie. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, I'll look at when you toy. Does it sound like a lightsaber when this all like swish it around?
No, it doesn't.
Fuck.
The sword is silvery, like a mirror. Beautiful construction.
Wow. Look at that sword, Doran. Check out that. Check that sword out. Look at that sword. Whoa.
Aye. 'Tis a fine piece.
Oh.
Does it resemble the Conan?
Yeah, it's a kind of Conan-y, sword, the one that he finds in the tomb, sort of thing.
So it belongs to Crumb then, did it?
Hmm?
Belongs to Crumb.
Is the base of the blade got a knurled grip on it?
It's got a spiral grip around it, and the pommel is in the crude shape of an eye.
Oh, it's a king's sword, that, innit? That sword, Doran. Look at that sword. Tease, goad, tease.
What? Can I have it? Come on. I'm gonna be king.
What use have you got for a two-handed sword?
You gotta have a big chopper when you're king.
And if you're not born with one, then you got to find one. Am I right, Doran?
Aye.
Confound you, Caesora. You're wounded.
I was on my way back until you came along. God.
Why didn't you
Can
come back for us to begin with, instead of venturing off on your own?
Because he's
Could
a
have gone yourself.
greedy wee cunt, that's why.
Listen here. I'm not a fucking thief, right? I'm a blade. God. I'm a mercenary. God.
You could have gotten yourself killed.
I did die, but I came back. God was on my
He's
side.
such a fucking bullshitter.
I'm no fucking. Listen here, you guys. I'm no bullshitting you. I died and I came back. I feel a little bit lighter. That's all I'm saying.
He thinks it's the
And anyway,
fucking second coming.
Don, as much as I like you as a brother for my different mother, just draw the line. Stop, please.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Come on.
Exactly. Like a leaf on a tree, let's get the leaf out of here.
Aye. Right, Doron actually takes the lead because he thinks this place is driving you all crazy. At the end of the tunnel, the stairway opens out into a vast hallway. A large tunnel turns off to the right, but the hall itself... sorry, I lost my place. But the hall itself continues to a ramp covered with ice, which leads up to a massive set of double doors bonded with iron and brass. At the foot of the ramp lie a heap of skeletons still wearing the bronze suits of armour of the Legion. The vaulted ceiling is covered with giant hanging stalactites, and the air is deathly still.
So we found quite a few dead legionnaires, haven't we? It was more than 20 or 30, I reckon.
Yeah.
Some small unit.
Looking more like a company has come up here. And all this gear too, like the magic banner. The
Yeah,
magic
you think there
sword.
must have been a proper band of these guys.
Legion.
These are not Muppets, so they've been ripped to pieces.
Aye. But we seem to be doing pretty well compared.
What's ever dying here? You
Oh,
know.
aye, apart from Cesora, who's already died 99 times. Since breakfast. Apart
We
from
shall-
that.
We still lit. I've only died the once. God.
Once, 100 times, what's the fucking difference?
That doesn't count.
Come on then. Come on then, you fucking immortal. Go and open the fucking doors.
I'll give him a hand.
Right. So the pair of you carefully make your way up the slope. What's Cesaura's strength?
Maggie's dead. 10.
Okay. Between you, worryingly, you're not strong enough to turn the handle.
Okay.
Oh dear. So Duran, for all his blaster, he's a big lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty strong. They're managing to turn it slightly, like rattling it, but just can't get enough traction to pull it the rest of the way.
It's because it's too icy, that's.
Come on, one of the others, come up, give us a hand.
Right,
Go
I
on,
come
Becca,
up.
give it
Yeah.
some wheelie.
Yes, just step aside. Cesora the Undying.
Okay, what's Becca's strength?
16.
15.
15.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah,
Let me just check Doran's strength. Oh, they don't list it. That's so useful. Okay, but I know he's strong enough to have a bonus, which means he must be at least
16.
Yeah, at least 16. So, all right. Between the two of you, you manage to turn the great handle and open the door. As the doors open, the stalactites and the ceiling start to drop as the Arctic wind beyond blows through and pushes the doors open. You're all going to have to run to get up the slope and out. So, what's Cesaura's evasion?
8.
8. Right, you dart between the stalactites and throw yourself out of the entrance. What's Elaine's evasion?
7.
And your armor's 6, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, you're struck by one falling stalactite, but it just shatters apart on your armor. Right. Doran gets through, no problem. Becca's evasion.
7.
Okay, also no problem. And you manage to hurl yourselves out as the last few stalactites fall behind you. Right, we'll be stopping soon, but just beyond the doors here, you emerge onto a wide snow-swept ridge, commanding a spectacular view of the valleys and chasms stretching off to the north of the mountains of Brack. The grisly sight in front of you interrupts the view. 2 poles, wrapped in a cocoon of ice, stand immediately in front of the doors. In each of them you see the bronze armour of one of the legionaries, still encasing their forlorn remains. Both stare out from shrivelled skulls, grinning in the desperate rictus of death, and you see that one of them still carries his legion baton in his skeletal hand.
You mean like animated corpses?
No, it's like they've been impaled here and then frozen in ice as like a totem or a warning.
Oh, Lord.
And one's got a baton.
Yes, one's got a commander's baton in his hand.
Yeah, so yes, so that's, yeah. This is at least a company. It's possibly a cohort, isn't it? I mean, Becca doesn't know this, but
Yeah, but Alain probably would from his history.
yeah,
I don't mind you metagaming the knowledge there.
Yes, so it could have been a cohort of up to 600 men come up here. I mean, we found about 100 corpses, haven't we, so far?
Yes, I knew that as I have studied Latin.
And tactics. And the tactics of the Legion.
And
Yeah.
Romans, or whatever this world's version of Romans are.
The ancient Selentine Empire.
But me, Jack the player, hasn't, so
no
I don't
idea.
know any of this.
What in the baton is that? Is that the bundle of sticks with the axe head?
The fascies, isn't it? From where fascists unfortunately get their.
Is that what the baton looks like?
It'll be pretty close to the historical one. Okay, so no, it's
Oh no, it's just
it's a gold capped stick with a stylized eagle on and wreath on one end. But obviously, because it's magical, it would appear it's untarnished.
Alright. Well, we already seem to have a banner, so we may as well add the baton to it.
yeah.
Just-
So these fellas must have been some sort of elite cader. Like they got all this enchanted gear, special weapons and tactics.
Yeah.
What were they doing here? What were they looking for?
Perhaps they were looking into the legends for themselves. Balor and the Fomorians. They'll have seen many a strange thing, even further to the south. Albion's a weird land.
Right, should we retrieve this this baton?
Yeah.
I'll use the.
Yeah.
I'll use my new tool, the axe tool, which is great for chipping ice, I imagine.
Yeah, so you can chip away at the ice and prise the baton out of the dead fingers beneath. And then you can pass on. So,
also, Doran, is there is there a market in collectibles? We got all this Selentine gear. That's,
There's probably some scholars that'd be interested.
we could probably patch together some provenance, couldn't we, with this stuff?
aye. Right, so you carry on through the pass. The view stretches from here over a few intervening foothills down to a windswept frozen lake where will-o'-the-wisp ice particles dance upon the surface. In the distance is a low squat building made of black granite. which must be the one you've heard spoken of in the ancient tales. A long sloping ledge traverses the mountainside to your left, zigzagging down to the lake's surface. To the right, a short, rubble-strewn path leads to a squat granite structure, the roof of which barely protrudes from the vast bank of snow in which it's buried. The entrance to the building is just around the corner from the ledge on which you stand, and we'll end there because you're into the next section after that point. Okay. Thanks for playing, everybody. I will distribute experience points and treasure as appropriate. Right, so if anyone levels, is there anything in particular they're thinking of concentrating on, or is it still the same as we've been discussing before?
Don't know if I'm going to level, but
I'm thinking because Becca got that animal husbandry skill, didn't she? From that I might try and get a pet or a spirit guide.
Yep.
But I don't know, perhaps a mountain might be a good place to find an eagle.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Fighters get their what's it called? What's the ability?
At 8th rank, isn't it?
Yeah, 8th rank you start getting your super specials. Yeah.
The only one that I have is there's okay, so disarm technique, expert parry, which is the only one for the shield. It's rather shit though.
Doesn't it double your...
Knowledge of this skill gives the knight greater proficiency in use of the shield. For any blow that would otherwise hit him, roll a d10, and roll a 1 or 2, he catches the blow in the shield, negating it. So it upgrades your chance to defend with a shield from 1 in 6 to 1 in 5.
Yeah, that's not hugely helpful.
Okay, really?
Yeah, I may consider changing that, but we'll have a look.
Yeah,
Me too.
in the player's guide, the new combat stance is gives you a 1 in 4 parry for defensive shield, but it's -3 attack.
Well, I'll find some sort of happy middle ground.
That actually sounds better. Like sacrificing your ability to hit things for more defense.
Okay, I'll have a think, but yeah, you want to concentrate on defense. Becca wants to concentrate on attack. Cesora wants to continue to be more stabby, I'm sure. Alright, cool. We'll call it there. I'll update the character sheets, do the XP and everything, and nothing else should be going on this weekend. So in theory, I'll see you Saturday. And hopefully a couple of other players, someone with some magic.
That's good.
Hint.
Yeah.
You can read all the scrolls and stuff and everything written in 17.
Yes. Night all.
Night all.